Hello, hello, hello! Did you know that there are some mobs in Minecraft that can be totally harmless 1 minute and the next minute they turn hostile and try to kill you? These mobs are called neutral mobs, like this doggo who can be my buddy 1 minute and my mortal enemy the next. And if you want to stay safe in Minecraft, it's kind of important to know what these mobs are and what makes them aggressive. But there are a whopping 81 different mobs in Minecraft, so it's not easy to remember everything about them. But don't worry, I'm Dippyblether, I love mobs, and this is part 2 of my big guide to all Minecraft mobs. In part 2 of this series, I will introduce you to all the neutral mobs in order of dangerousness, from harmless to totally deadly. Find out where all of these mobs live, what they can do for you, and how to stay safe. Let's start with a mob that is so harmless I don't even understand why it's in this category. The totally adorable fox lives in many snowy biomes and in cold biomes. There are red foxes and white foxes. They are very shy, but you can tame them with berries. They pick up items from the ground and carry them about in their mouth. It's so cute. But be careful, they will also pick up armor and weapons. This fox is running around with a netherite sword. Thankfully, they will drop the items if you feed them, and you can also put them on a lead, which is very handy because foxes don't stay by your side like cats and dogs. They don't follow you, they just roam around and sometimes kind of turn up, which makes breeding foxes and doing anything useful with them quite difficult. So I've got these 2 Arctic foxes and I'm feeding them. It puts them into love mode, and look at that adorable baby. I've actually had to put these 2 red foxes into a hole so they don't run away from me. Ah, look at that. Which baby do you think is cuter, the red one or the white one? When you have befriended a fox, it is meant to defend you from your enemies. Look at this little trooper. It's just a baby and it's trying to help. In theory, your friendly foxes will even attack players if they hurt you. But the sad truth is, foxes roam so far and wide that they often don't even realize you're under attack, and they turn up to the party way too late. Yes, buddy, you've missed the action. That's right, hide your head in shame. Foxes are usually so harmless, they even get bullied by wolves. Foxes are really only dangerous to chickens, rabbits and fish, the animals they eat. I honestly don't know many people who ever got properly hurt by a fox in Minecraft. So I'll give these wee cuties a danger level of 1 out of 10. The next mob on my list is the dolphin. It's absolutely beautiful. Dolphins spawn in pods in all oceans that are not frozen. So if you go on any kind of boat trip, you're definitely gonna meet these playful fellas. They like to follow boats, they jump out of the water, and they play with objects that you throw into the water, like this wool. If you sprint swim close to them, they give you dolphin grace, which makes you go super fast. But it's not so easy to get close to them, so sometimes it's best to put them on a lead. You can gain their trust by feeding them raw fish. And if you do that, they take you straight to the nearest treasure, or ocean ruin, or shipwreck. Let's go, follow that dolphin! Thanks for finding this for me, buddy. And this is a nice and easy one. Thank you, let's see what we can find. Ooh, chest. Nice. I guess it makes sense that they know where all the treasure is, right? They live here. Where did it go? Oh, okay, it's gone. Probably doing important dolphin stuff. Dolphins are not fish, they're actually mammals, so they need to breathe air, which means they can actually drown. But dolphins can also suffocate if they can't get back into the water. So I've set up a little experiment. What do you reckon? Does it take longer for a dolphin to suffocate on dry land, or does it take longer for it to drown? Let's sprint the time and see. Okay, they don't live very long on dry land. How much longer will the other one last? By the way, I really don't enjoy doing this, but it's gotta be done for science. Keeping a pet dolphin in Minecraft is really difficult, by the way, because of the drowning and suffocating. They get themselves stuck and... okay, that one's dead too. They drop fish when they die, by the way. So why are these lovely guys neutral mobs and not passive ones? Well, according to the Minecraft wiki, if you attack one, the whole pod attacks you back. But I play on Java, and your chances of drowning are bigger than getting attacked by a dolphin. I don't know anybody who ever got attacked by a dolphin, but I hear that bedrock dolphins are really vicious. So I'm giving dolphins a danger level of 1 out of 10, purely because of the bedrock thing. Yep, it's still not fighting back. Poor dolphin. Our next mob spawns in high mountains and has a crazy jump. Did you see that? Minecraft goats are quite entertaining, especially the screaming ones. Like this one. You can breed goats with wheat. And why would you want to do that? Well, they are mildly useful because you can milk them like a cow, but mostly because they give you goat horns. And you get goat horns by tricking goats to ram solid objects like this. The horn then simply breaks off and you can collect it. By the way, there are 8 different types of goat horns and they all play different tunes. And here is why I give goats danger level 2. Because if you stand still too long, goats will ram you and that could knock you off a mountain, which may not be good for your health. So never turn your back on a goat. They have a slightly dangerous sense of humor. Let's talk about llamas and trader llamas next. Wild llamas spawn in savannas and on windswept hills in herds, and they come in 4 different colors. And their cousins, the trader llamas, turn up in all sorts of random places spontaneously because they get toted about by the wandering traders. You can ride llamas, but you have to tame them first, and you do this by right-clicking on them with an empty hand until they basically don't kick you off anymore. So just keep persisting and eventually they love you. Tame llamas have an inventory slot for a carpet. You can use any color carpet. This is what magenta looks like, my favorite color. You can also change the carpet on trader llamas. This is another favorite of mine, the dark gray carpet. It gives them a bandit mask. How cool does that look? You can also put chests on llamas, and that turns them into mobile transportation units. Unfortunately, you can't steal llamas. They just wander about randomly, so you have to get off and put them on a lead to get them where you want to go. And then something really cool happens, because once you've got a llama on a lead, all the other llamas want to follow it. They will form a llama caravan, and the maximum length of a caravan is 10 llamas. That's amazing! Just look at these guys run. They're desperate to join the llama train. Choo-choo! You can also breed llamas with wheat or hay bales, and the babies are absolutely adorable. Well, you can't actually see the baby here because there are too many adults milling about. So, here's a close-up of another baby llama. Just look at those stumpy little legs. And if you're absolutely desperate for leather and there's no cow about, you can always kill a llama. They give you leather. And this is the reason why llamas are neutral mobs, because if you annoy them, they spit at you. Llama spit doesn't do an awful lot of damage, but if you're low on health or if there are a lot of llamas spitting at you, you might end up dead. So be nice to your llama and your llama will be nice to you. Let's give llamas danger level 2 because getting killed by a llama is entirely avoidable. Bees are a very useful mob in Minecraft, but you have to know how to handle them because they can sting you. They pollinate flowers and crops and make them grow faster. When they have collected enough pollen, they fly back to their nest, and that's where they make the honey and the honeycomb. Bees' nests generate naturally on birch, cherry or oak trees. You need a silk touch tool to pick up the nest, and the best time to do that is in the middle of the night when all the bees are in the nest. If you don't want to go roaming around looking for bees' nests, you can also generate them by planting birch, oak or cherry trees near flowers. When the trees grow, there is a chance they will generate with a bee's nest on them. Bees follow you when you're holding a flower. And if you feed them flowers, you can make more bees and breed them. You can even put bees on a lead and take them for a walk, which then technically makes it a bee-loon. A bee balloon, get it? To get honey from a bee's nest, you right-click it with a glass bottle. And if you want to get honeycomb, you use shears. But bees really don't like it if you steal their stuff or if you break their nest. The whole swarm will come after you and they will try to sting you, and their sting is poisonous. So that could be quite scary. I'm out of here. Luckily, every beekeeper knows this trick. You can calm down bees with smoke. So just put a campfire underneath the nest and you can safely harvest the honeycomb and the honey. You can also craft your own beehives with honeycomb and planks. If you then breed more bees, they will move into your beehive and you can make yourself a little bee farm. So bees are safe if you handle them correctly, but if you don't, they can give you a nasty nip. And that's why I'm giving them danger level 3. Our next mob is deceptively cute, but don't get taken in. These guys are a lot more dangerous than you think. Pandas live in the jungle and they love nothing more than eating bamboo. Their sitting and eating animation is just beyond adorable. Just look at them. Oh my word, I could watch this all day long. Breeding pandas is really easy. Just give 2 pandas bamboo and they will make the most adorable panda baby. Here we go, there it is. And as if that isn't enough cuteness, pandas come with different personalities. This roly-poly guy, he is a playful panda. And the guy with the green stuff on his nose is a snotty panda, and when it sneezes, all the other pandas get a fright and jump. And lazy pandas just like to lie on their back and, well, be lazy. There are 7 different types of pandas in total, and the brown panda is the rarest of them all, so I've spawned in tons and tons of pandas. And I finally managed to get a brown one, but not before I had spawned an entire army of pandas. Just look at this is madness! So why on earth are pandas neutral mobs? Well, I'll show you. If you hit a panda, it hits you back hard. And boy, that guy packs a punch. And that's a danger level 4 from me. Wolves come in 9 different varieties depending on which biome they're in. This is the stripy savanna wolf. And this handsome brown fella lives in the jungle. This is the most common wolf, the classic white, and you can tame it if you give it bones. There, it loves me. You know it's a tame wolf because it's wearing a collar, and you can change the color of the collar, so mine's got to be magenta. If you plan on having adventures with your wolf, you can craft it a dog armor from armadillo scoots, and you can dye that too. So this one is also gonna be magenta. Did you know you can go hunting with your tame wolf? If you punch another mob, your wolf knows it's an enemy and it'll try to kill it. There you go, free steak. What a team. This also works for hostile mobs, by the way. And because your wolves follow you unless you make them sit, they will literally be your mobile bodyguard. Amazing, right? There, bye-bye zombie. This also works for players who attack you, so your friends better be careful. I think Wolfie took a little bit damage there, so let's heal him with some meat. Wolves are proper carnivores. They eat any kind of meat, and you can even use it to breed them. So, we're gonna get a cute little puppy. Oh my word, look at this. This is so cute. Hello, little buddy. Yes, I love you. And this is why wolves are a neutral mob. If you hurt a wolf, the whole pack will get mightily angry, and they will all try to kill you. And that's why wolves are danger level 5. The next mob on my list is this friendly giant, the Iron Golem. Iron Golems spawn naturally in villages and protect them from all the baddies. Sometimes you can also find Iron Golems in the prisons of the pillager outposts. If you free these guys, they will wreak mighty revenge on their captors. Okay buddy, you're free, do your thing! Yup, Rambo packs a mighty punch. And if your iron golem is hurt, you can heal it with iron bars, because that's basically what they're made from. And that brings me to their other use in Minecraft. If you kill an iron golem, or if it dies, it drops iron and poppies. So lots of people make iron farms in early game. But if you attack an iron golem, you better make sure you stay well out of its reach, because it can basically one-shot you. They don't really have a sense of humor with that sort of thing. You can also build your own defense force, like this. You need 4 iron blocks, and then you put a carved pumpkin on top, and then you get an iron golem. And this guy is idiot-proof because you made it. You can hit it as much as you like, it just won't fight back. Because these guys are super friendly but also totally OP, I will give it a danger level of 6. The next mob is the spider. And I have to say, it feels more like a hostile mob to me. Spiders spawn at night or in the dark, and they attack players on sight. Even though they don't do a massive amount of damage, they jump at you, and that makes it really hard to hit them. And they don't give up, they keep coming. They just hate people. They can also climb up walls, so they're sometimes hard to see. If you kill them, they drop spider, ice, and string. And they're classed as neutral mobs because during the daytime they're completely harmless. They won't even go near you. You can walk right up to them, they won't hurt you. Let's give these guys a danger level of 6. And here's another mob that's easily underestimated because it's kind of cool. Polar bears spawn in small groups in icy biomes. And they sometimes spawn with babies. If you come across adult polar bears on the ice and you don't do anything to annoy them, like kind of punch them or something, then you're absolutely fine. They won't attack you. They're completely passive. You can't breed polar bears, but if you see a mummy polar bear with a baby, you better run away fast, because mummy polar bears are very protective about their babies and they hit you hard. The other thing is they run super fast. They run as fast as you and they swim fast too. So getting away from a polar bear is really not easy. I'm out of here. Bye. Bye, polar bear. Because there are quite a lot of polar bears with babies on the ice, it's difficult to get past them. So I'm going to give this one a danger level of 6 out of 10. Our next mob probably looks more scary than it actually is. Zombified piglins spawn in the nether, mostly in nether wastes and in crimson forests. You can safely go right up to them because they won't hurt you unless you hurt them first. But that is precisely what you may want to do, because they drop gold when they die. I'm pretty safe up here on this pillar because they only have melee weapons. So I have annoyed them and you can see what happens. You tickle one of them a little bit and the whole gang comes and wants to kill you. Oops, I was a bit too high there. 3 blocks is plenty high enough so they can't reach you. Oh, there's another bunch of them coming. They've called in reinforcements. And as long as I keep hitting them, they will keep coming, so I could be here for a while. This is a mechanic that people exploit for making gold farms. One zombified piglin alone isn't too difficult to kill, but because of this gang warfare thing that they've got going on, I'm gonna give them a solid 7. Piglins are a classic neutral mob. They can be your best friends in the game and they can be absolutely adorable, but they have a very touchy fashion sense and a bit of an obsession about gold. So if you do the wrong thing, they can hit you, and they hit you hard. Piglins like to mooch about in the nether wastes and in the crimson forest, while they like to go on the occasional hoglin hunt. And I would like to say, good luck guys, good riddance of those horror pigs. As you can see here, these guys have got crossbows and they've got melee weapons, so they can attack you in a variety of ways. Hooray! Well done guys! But that was not the main reason why people like to hang out with piglins. Piglins love gold, so you can barter with them. Throw them some gold and they will give you something back. And some of these things are really useful, like fire resistance potions. But sadly, these guys have only given us nether bricks. Like I mentioned earlier, piglins are the fashion police of Minecraft and they love bling. So let me show you what happens if you don't wear at least one piece of golden armor. Yep, piglins take fashion deadly serious. And if you have an unfortunate accident, these guys like to accessorize. He's now wearing my diamond chestplate. Yay, thank you. Wow. They also firmly believe that all the gold in the nether belongs to them. So if you mine gold anywhere near them, they have something to say about that. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, I'm out of here. Bye. I'm sorry, didn't mean it. And don't open chests, barrels or anything of that kind near them, because that's another trigger point. Luckily, these guys are easily distracted, so if you just throw them some gold, they will just forget all about what just happened. At least for a little while. Buddy, this is extortion! Because it's so easy to accidentally annoy a piglin, and because they're quite geared up, I will give them a 7 out of 10. I also don't think gold is quite my color. And before we move on to the next mob, here's a fun fact. If you take a piglin to the overworld, it becomes a zombified piglin. Endermen are the only mob that naturally spawns in all 3 dimensions. As the name suggests, you find a ton of Endermen in the end. They also like to hang out in the warped forest in the nether, and one of their quirks is that they like to pick up random blocks and put them in places where they don't belong. It's called Enderman griefing. But they also spawn in the overworld in dark places and at night. And they absolutely hate it when you look at them. They're fast, they will follow you, and they will try to murder you. Luckily, they don't like water, so I'm pretty safe here. But trying to shoot one with a bow and arrow is totally pointless because they teleport away from any danger. So you just have to kill them with your sword. Just stay still. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. I'm gonna kill you anyway. And now it's given me the precious ender pearl. Let's annoy another one so I can show you more ways of staying safe. Endermen are 3 blocks tall, so if you hide under a canopy that's 2 blocks high, you can basically hit them and they can't get to you. You can also catch them in a boat, and then they become sitting ducks. They literally can't get out of that thing. And the reason we tangle with these guys is ender pearls. Because if you throw an ender pearl, you teleport to the place where it lands. Whoosh! And that is super useful. I'm giving Endermen a score of 8 because you often look at them by accident and they hit you hard. And here is another mob that is purely classed as neutral on a technicality. This is a drowned with a trident. He's a bad guy. Drowned spawn in oceans and rivers, and you find them more frequently near ruins and near shipwrecks. Drowned will not come on land and they will leave you alone during the daytime. But as soon as it turns night, they forget all about their shyness and they come and visit you. But this little horror is not actually interested in me. He just wants to stomp on some turtle eggs because Drowned can't resist destroying turtle eggs. They're horrible. And that's why these guys need to die. They're actually not that hard to kill if you've got decent gear. They have a really bad attitude, but they don't have weapons. Well, most of them don't. Some of them spawn with tridents, and tridents are an absolute horror. They can hit you from a long distance. Sometimes you don't even know where they are. All you can do is use your shield to deflect the tridents and try to get to them as fast as you can and then whack them hard. And hopefully you'll manage to kill them before your air runs out, because they can still throw their spears at you when you're out of the water. I spawned in a bunch of drowns for you so I can show you what they drop. There are even baby drowned. And as you can see, these guys will only attack me if I'm in the water. Like zombies, drowned will mostly drop rotten flesh. They'll also drop copper, fishing rod, nautilus shells, a couple of other things. And if you're lucky, a trident guy will drop his trident. But to get one, you may have to kill a few of them because they don't always drop the trident. Did you also know that you can make your own drowned? Just take one zombie and add water. Yep, that's it. Off you go, diving buddy. And eventually this guy will turn into a drowned. Let's fast forward a bit because this takes quite a while. I think we're nearly there, and yes, we've got a drowned. I'm giving the drowned a level 8 out of 10 purely because of the trident guys. These snipers can hit you even when you're not in the water, and I have died to them so many times. Before we move on to my least favorite mob on this list, let me remind you that this is part 2 of a series about all the mobs. So if you found this video useful and enjoyed it and want to become a total mob master, check out my other videos and like and subscribe. Thank you! I have put cave spiders to the top of my list because they are the least neutral of the neutral mob. There are so few circumstances where you will meet a cave spider and it will not attack you. They spawn in mine shafts and they come from spawners exclusively. They look like slightly smaller, meaner spiders. They jump at you like spiders and they poison you. Ouch, I forgot to bring milk. If you see a whole bunch of cobwebs like this, you know there's a spider spawner in there, and then it's time to get careful, because there'll be a whole bunch of spiders hiding away in all sorts of nooks and crannies. They'll jump on you and they'll keep coming, and it's really difficult to maneuver in these tight mine shafts. Luckily, you can deactivate a spawner by placing a torch on top of it, because if the light is high enough, they don't spawn anymore. But first you've got to get to your spawner, and secondly, there'll be a ton of spiders that are still there that have already spawned. Gotcha, but I can still hear tons more. Where are they? Enchanting your sword with Bane of Arthropods helps too, because it deals more damage to the spiders. Bam! Dead. They should call it the pest control enchantment. And let me show you something else, something funny. I'm not running away, by the way. This is a tactical retreat. Because I have brought my pet armadillo, and spiders are absolutely terrified of them. Did you see how that ran away? That was hilarious, right? Good job, Army. Let me feed you a spider eye. There you go. It was a bit tricky to get you here, but it was so worth to see the expression on that spider's face. Yep, they really don't like armadillos. So I really don't like cave spiders. Level 9 out of 10. I'm leaving 10 for the really bad mobs, the hostile mobs. And that's gonna be my next episode. All 30 hostile mobs and how to beat them. And that's it. Everything you need to know about all the neutral mobs. If you want, you can check out my other mob videos. Have a hippy dippy day and stay safe. Bye bye!